Here we are then, it is Bahrain, blisteringly hot, the sunshine. It is the Speedcar Series, race 2 of this weekend in Bahrain, a support event to the 2008 Formula 1 Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix here at the Speedcar Bahrain International Circuit. It's race 8 in the Speedcar Series, and wow, what a race we had yesterday. Full of incident, full of drama, full of on-track action. We're expecting much more of the same today. And there, the drivers all lined up, ready to continue their quest for championship honours in this inaugural Speedcar Championship Series. Okay, so this is where we are, Bahrain International Circuit. Challenging 15-turn circuit of 5.4 kilometers in length. Really pushes these drivers and pushes the speed cars to the absolute limit, and is supremely entertaining for us, this fantastic speed car series here in Bahrain. Sitting in pole position then, Ukio Katayama, which is the yellow and white car right at the front of the grid. Pole position for Ukio Katayama. As you can see, we've already visited the Dubai Autodrome, the Central International Circuit, Sepang in Malaysia. We're here in Bahrain, and the championship reaches its conclusion in Dubai next weekend over the 10th, 11th, 12th of April. Going to be a fantastic conclusion to this inaugural Speedcar Series championship. So the cars and teams preparing themselves. There's Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum, and there is the starting grid. Row 1 sees Ukio Katayama with Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum alongside him. Then it's the 96 driver Jacques Villeneuve, former Formula 1 world champion. Alongside him is Johnny Herbert. Then we see Marchi Lee, Nicholas Navarro, then Gianni Morbidelli, David Terrien, Stefan Johansson and Jean Alesi, who had a real battle on track yesterday. And then it's Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Ananda Mikkola, Fabian Giroux, Klaus Ludwig, JJ Leto and Uwe Olsen. So the safety car leads these cars away on their formation lap. These mammoth, mighty V8 620 brake horsepower super stock cars. We're on board with Heinz-Harald Frentzen, another ex-Formula 1 superstar driving car number 80. He loved his time in these speed cars yesterday, and he's looking to enjoy this just as much today. You'll see the cars weaving from side to side. Get some heat into their tyres. Track temperature currently 33 degrees, the air temperature 27. It's hot for those drivers out there, and the action red hot too. There is Johnny Herbert weaving his car. Now these cars are not fitted with any form of trickery that makes it easy for the driver. Standard H-pattern gearbox. Now the Drivers' Championship being led by Jean Alesi with Uwe Olsen second, then it's David Terrien, Johnny Herbert is fourth, Matthias Lauda fifth, then it's Navarro, Morbidelli and Ananda Mikkola in 8th place in the Drivers' Championship so far. So we go on board with Jacques Villeneuve, who really impressed yesterday. He had a interesting practice and qualifying session where he was perhaps pushing the car to its absolute limits and going off the track a lot, but then when it came to the actual race, he seemed to be right on it. As we continue our look at the championship with Johansson 9th, there you can see David Terrien, car number 20. He eventually took the win yesterday after the disqualification of Uwe Olsen. And there is Olsen, and you can just tell from the way he's changing gear that he's got the bit between his teeth. Hugely disappointed from what happened yesterday, and we'll be trying to put it all to rights today, and he's got a lot of work to do, starting right at the very back of this starting grid. So a huge spectacle of colour, noise, roaring around this Bahrain International Circuit as the speed cars get prepared to fly around the circuit. Now there we can see Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum in car number 85, who obviously has a problem with his speed car. He is off onto the runoff area now. He hasn't had the best of luck, it has to be said. The former Formula Campus driver, that is Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum, driving car number 85 in this speed car series, obviously has some problem. And this is bad news indeed. We want to see each and every driver out there, of course we do, and he looks like he has a problem that cannot be solved and maybe needs the attention of his team and crew. So that's Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum. On board we go with Johnny Herbert, who's tracking Jacques Villeneuve. So Herbert starting on the second row, fourth on the grid. So now, whatever the problem was for Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum, he appears to have sorted it as he comes flying back to join the grid. Thank goodness for that. There's Ukio Katayama in car number 06 leading them away. Behind the safety car, then it's Jacques Villeneuve. Then we see Johnny Herbert, Marchi Lee, Nicholas Navarro, Gianni Morbidelli. The safety car peels away. There we can see Ukio Katayama, and we go green, and we go speed car, stock car racing as plumes of smoke from one of the cars. Johnny Herbert has the inside line. Him and Maktoum side by side, but Maktoum shuts the door. It's not Maktoum at all, of course, it's Ukio Katayama right at the front of the grid, driving 06. Katayama chopping off the front of Johnny Herbert, but they are side by side right now. It's Johnny Herbert and Ukio Katayama, and Herbert makes it count, and he is through into the lead of this race. Johnny Herbert driving car number 69 from fourth on the grid, goes through into the lead with Ukio Katayama second. 71, Nicholas Navarro is third. Now we'll keep an eye on how these cars shape up and shake down at the start of this speed car race here at the Bahrain International Circuit. So lots of battles further down the grid, and Navarro manages to get past Katayama, as indeed does Gianni Morbidelli, and Jacques Villeneuve now going to try and find a way round. They panel rub, they bounce against the side of each other. This is Heinz-Harald Frentzen we're on board with, as he rockets through the gearbox. Alongside him is Marchi Lee. He gets past Marchi Lee. And Villeneuve is off. Villeneuve is off onto the runoff area. There's Stefan Johansson in car number 07. He's being tracked by Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Marchi Lee. So, don't know what happened to Jacques Villeneuve. Hopefully he's been able to rejoin. This is fantastic stuff. We always knew that race 2 here in Bahrain was going to be full of drama, and it's shaping up that way already in the early stages of this speed car race. And we knew that man would have the bit between his teeth in the white car, 08, Uwe Olsen, absolutely flying through the pack. So, taking the lead, it's Johnny Herbert who leads. Then we see 71, the yellow peril, Nicholas Navarro. Then it's Gianni Morbidelli. There's Stefan Johansson, but look at Olsen. Incredible stuff from these speed car drivers. Real battle going on there between Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Now this is Johnny Herbert's overtaking move on Ukio Katayama, just kept it tight, was not enough room to do anything then, sold Ukio a little bit of a dummy. Ukio goes wide. That just allows Johnny Herbert everything he needed, open space for him to go through. There's Nicholas Navarro, there's Gianni Morbidelli, and there's Jacques Villeneuve getting past Ukyo Katayama. So there, and this is how it happened earlier. Bit of a bash there from Villeneuve. Little bit of a panel kiss there, and he went through. So this speed car race here in the Bahrain International Circuit, and we can see absolutely every piece of the track being taken and being used. So there is Stefan Johansson, car number 08, Uwe Olsen. Absolutely flying. We're on board with him now. He was disqualified from yesterday's race, and he really has got the bit between his teeth as he dives up the inside of Stefan Johansson. Now both these drivers have huge amounts of motor racing experience, but you just know that the disappointment of yesterday for Uwe Olsen, that he wanted to put it all right today. Johnny Herbert leads. Then it's Navarro in car 71. Then it's Gianni Morbidelli. Then it's this battle between these two drivers, Uwe Olsen and Stefan Johansson, side by side. It's Olsen that gets the drift on him, and he is through. Absolutely incredible racing. Johnny Herbert leads. Then it's Navarro. Then it's Morbidelli. Then it's Olsen. Then it is Stefan Johansson. And keeping very quiet by his standards at the moment. You see him go through. There is car number 27, Jean Alesi. Now Jean Alesi and Stefan Johansson in the race yesterday had a real coming together. Both of them absolutely furious with that, but none more so than that Uwe Olsen, who's just flown through there. But we're with Jean Alesi in car number 27. He's just letting all the battles continue up front, and we'll wait for his moment to absolutely pounce if he can. At the moment, though, you have to say Uwe Olsen is the one that is impressing. As Alesi takes a look at the back of Stefan Johansson. And you just know that an overtaking manoeuvre is going to come shortly, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen right behind Alesi as well, with some serious panel damage at the front of his car. But it's Herbert, Navarro, Morbidelli, Olsen. Then it's Johansson, Alesi, Frentzen and Margie Lee having a great race in 8th place currently. There's Ananda Mikkola in car number 18. But there is Jean Alesi, car 27. And there's Jacques Villeneuve out of this race. Great shame, disappointed, he shakes his head. He will be back in full effect in Dubai as this Speedcar series reaches its conclusion next weekend. You cannot miss it. So it's Johnny Herbert that leads the race. But this is the real battle here. Olsen has got through. Let's find out what happened to Jacques Villeneuve.
No, I think we have a problem with the fuel hoses or something. Car had the problem yesterday, so things were changed, but it wasn't working. The engine just wasn't working.
And a real disappointment for yourself.
Yeah, we're starting in the front today, so disappointing. That's life.
And what's it like out there? Because obviously there's been one championship out already. Is it still as dusty as yesterday?
No, but it's not bad on those cars. It's okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
So Jacques Villeneuve, very philosophical, scratches his head and walks away, and if only. Okay, look at this. This is Stefan Johansson being tracked all the way by Jean Alesi now. Jean Alesi is really building up to look at an overtaking manoeuvre on Stefan Johansson. So absolutely in his wheel tracks, and Johansson will know he's there. There is a gap of 0.4 of a second between these two. Stefan Johansson, Jean Alesi, the battle for 5th and 6th place in this Speedcar race, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen behind them in car number 80. He is driving the ACI Legends car 80. The ex-Formula 1 superstar that was Heinz-Harald Frentzen, that is Heinz-Harald Frentzen, absolutely loving his time in this Speedcar, full of enthusiasm for this series. Herbert leads, then it's Navarro, Morbidelli, Olsen, Johansson, Alesi, Frentzen and Margie Lee. Then we see Ananda Mikkola, Fabian Giroa, Ludwig Leto.
Keith, very disappointing for the two cars. What's happened?
I'm not 100% sure with David's. Hash's, we seem to have a engine management problem, electrical problem. I think a lambda sensor on the exhaust. Doesn't sound a big thing to change, but obviously the exhaust is red hot and the guys are going to get underneath, and it's taken us out. It's going to be damage limitation from here on in, I guess.
That must be very disappointing after yesterday's result of being moved up to first.
Well, some you win, some you lose. It's motor racing, you have to take it on the chin. So we just have to try and, as I said, damage limitation for this race, and go at it in Dubai on the last round, and we'll see what happens, eh?
Only a couple of days until you actually have to go back and set up. Is it going to be difficult to get everything ready in time?
Yes, very. I believe the cars are meant to leave here tonight, but having been out here for a while, I know how long it takes to get them back. It's going to be all-nighters to get the cars ready, I think, in time for next Thursday, Friday.
So there we go. It's difficult for the teams as it is for the drivers.
Probably more so.
Well, good to hear then that the team manager philosophical in disappointment that David Terrian out, of course, but it's not a serious problem. It is a problem that can be fixed, and of course he will be back out in Dubai. Meantime, we're keeping our eye on this battle here between 27 Sean Lacey and 07 Stefan Johansson, both hugely experienced drivers. And this is the battle for 5th and 6th place. There's Ananda Mikkola in car number 18. Uwe Olsen as Marchie Lee goes round in car number 50. Marchie Lee just spinning it round as once again Lacey takes a look at Johansson, and this is how it went wrong from Fabian Giroa's car. We can see what happened here. So in fairness, it was a huge nudge, and that was the huge nudge that sent Marchie Lee round. Ananda Mikkola obviously just not getting on the brakes quite quick enough, and hey, sorry Marchie, you're going to get spun out. So there we are, Ananda Mikkola and Marchie Lee having a bit of a coming together there. Meantime, 07 Stefan Johansson. We can see how this race is being led now. This is Johnny Herbert. Under braking into the right-hander he goes. Here he is. This is the driver that's leading this race. The gentleman that is Johnny Herbert, as he wrestles with that steering wheel, giving you some indication of just how hard it is to drive these cars. And that's why you need the experience that someone like Johnny Herbert has. Through the gearbox he goes, absolutely wrestling with that steering wheel, as once again Sean Lacey trying hard to get on terms with Johansson. Look at this. Lacey has taken a look up the inside, dives back in again, hoping to sell Stefan Johansson a little bit of a dummy. But Johansson, with years of racing experience, thinks, I'm not going to make it easy for you, Sean. Of course, these two really battled yesterday. The gap between the two, half a second between Johansson and Sean Lacey. Let's go back to the pits and JJ Leto right now. Find out what happened to JJ Leto.
JJ, there seems to be a lot of cars with problems in a very short time. What's yours?
Well, it hasn't been a lucky weekend for me either. Yesterday was a suspension on the first lap, just collapsed, and today I got a misfire after the first lap. So everybody just went by, and nothing you can do about it. I don't know what to say. Bad luck today.
It is bad luck for a lot of the drivers. Back to you, Dave.
So JJ Leto then with a misfire as we take a look at the panel damage at the front of Heinz-Harald Frenzen's speed car number 80 as this battle rages. And this battle is for 6th and 5th place between car number 07 Stefan Johansson and car number 27 Sean Lacey. And Heinz-Harald Frenzen with his right hand panel damaged car number 80. Right, really trying to get into this battle as well. Now you're looking at three absolute superstars in the world of motor racing blocked together there. None of them prepared to give an inch. Meantime, Johnny Herbert having a great time of it in 69, leading this race. Then it's Nicholas Navarro, then Gianni Morbidelli, then it's Uwe Olsen. And again, Alesi takes a look up the inside. He dives up the inside of Stefan Johansson. And he has got it. He's got through on the inside line. Now Johansson will... Now that was typical cool, calm, collected Jean Alesi, just waiting for the absolute perfect opportunity. He saw it, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen trying to have a go as well now, as they go very nearly three abreast. Heinz-Harald Frentzen thinks better of it and eases up. On board right now with Heinz-Harald Frentzen, we can see exactly what it's like from a driver's eye perspective as these cars are absolutely battling on track here at the Bahrain International Circuit. This is Speedcar racing. These monumental V8 620 brake horsepower machines really are trying very, very hard. Onto the rumble strips he goes, but back out on track. Heinz-Harald Frentzen in car number 80. Jean Alesi having managed to get past Stefan Johansson. You can hear him, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, chucking it through the gears. Back on the gas, doing everything he can to get on terms with Stefan Johansson. But we'll keep our eyes right now on Jean Alesi, who is through and put in an absolutely perfect overtaking maneuver and got past Stefan Johansson. And this is how it happened. Just waited for the opportunity, got close enough, slipstreamed him into the inside. He got through. Johansson tries to fight back, but Alesi absolutely executing that, although locking the tyres up as he does it. You can see the car bouncing, but again Alesi managing to hold on and make that overtaking maneuver count. So Johnny Herbert, your race leader, then we see Nicholas Navarro, then it's Gianni Morbidelli, then a fantastic drive from Uwe Olsen, who is behind Gianni Morbidelli in the ACI car. Olsen, of course, who lost out yesterday, wanting to put it all right today. Herbert leads, then it's Navarro, Morbidelli, Olsen, Alesi, Johansson, then it's Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Fabian Giroa in 8th place in this Speedcar race here at the Bahrain International Circuit. The yellow peril that is 71, Nicholas Navarro, goes through. And there, I think the drive of the race so far coming from Uwe Olsen right from the very back of the grid. This is Nicholas Navarro in the yellow peril, car number 71. He is currently second. Bit of a gap between him and Gianni Morbidelli in car number 10. And there is the gap. It's 1.2 seconds. So Navarro will be keen to make sure he keeps that cushion there. Johnny Herbert out front, having a better time of it today than he did yesterday. Finishing 5th yesterday, currently first on track for the gentleman that is the flame-throwing Speedcar driver, 69, Johnny Herbert. Nicholas Navarro, Gianni Morbidelli in car number 10. Off onto the rough stuff. So the flame-throwing Johnny Herbert, Nicholas Navarro, then it's Gianni Morbidelli, and then Uwe Olsen. Absolutely flying around this Bahrain International Circuit. As we see JJ Leto rejoining. Hopefully that misfire sorted out. And he'll be back on track. So there, Johnny Herbert, who has a reasonably comfortable lead. And of course a completely clear track in front of him. Then we see Nicholas Navarro. Then it is Gianni Morbidelli, and Olsen is beginning to reel in. Meantime, here is Alesi, Stefan Johansson and Heinz-Harald Frentzen in 5th, 6th and 7th place in this Speedcar race here in Bahrain. Official classification then: Herbert, Navarro, Morbidelli, Olsen, Alesi, Johansson. Then it's Frentzen, then it's Giroa in 8th place. Now, he was on pole position, Ukio Katayama. Another one with an engine problem. So Ukio Katayama be very disappointed with that. So the team there ready to investigate exactly what's gone wrong with that car. Meantime, there's Heinz Harald Frentzen, car number 80 in the ACI Legends car as he lifts a wheel. There's the little nudge damage that Heinz Harald inflicted upon his car. But he is tracking Stefan Johansson. We're on board right now with him. This is Heinz Harald Frentzen, gets ever closer to Stefan Johansson. Trying to find our way past. These cars are so evenly matched that it is all down to the way the driver uses his skill, his intuition, and his sheer daring to try and make overtaking manoeuvres work. So Heinz Harald Frentzen in car number 80. Tracking Stefan Johansson. Now Stefan Johansson and Shauna Lacey had a huge coming together in the race yesterday, and at the moment Lacey has the better of that little battle between those two, with Lacey 5th, Johansson 6th. And then we see this driver, Heinz Harald Frentzen. You can hear exactly what these engines sound like from the driver's perspective as they absolutely throttle that V8 monster machine for all it's worth. This, of course, being played out as a 2008 Formula One Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix support race. And what has happened to Johnny Herbert? He was leading this race, car number 69, Johnny Herbert. Obviously has a problem. What bad news. And you can hear Herbert not giving his car anything, or maybe the car has nothing to give, as is dreadful news for Johnny Herbert. Now, whether there's a gearbox fault as he was chucking around that gearbox lever and not seemingly able to do anything with that at all. That is dreadful news for Johnny Herbert.
Ukio, a lot of difficulties today. What was yours?
So, engine problem. So, misfiring from first straight just after start. So, nothing to say, no way.
You're almost like the Mark Webber in Speedcar. You seem to have a lot of bad luck. What do you think it is?
Yeah, I had so many troubles already. But today was so disappointing. I had a good chance to score the point from a pole position, but I can't fight.
Oh, well, disappointing. There we go, Dave. Yet another one.
Well, engine misfire really does seem to be the problem of the day. There's Ukio Katayama struggling with his car. Started on pole position, of course, so had a huge opportunity. Meantime, this is going to be a huge battle. This is really going to rage now with Johnny Herbert with what we think are gearbox problems. This race is now being led by Navarro, then it's Morbidelli, then it's Olsen. Okay, let's go back down into the garages as an overtaking manoeuvre takes place.
Sure, it's almost a home race for you, but not quite. Disappointing. What's gone wrong?
Yeah, first of all, it happened also, I think, for so far what I could see, around 5 cars, this mechanical failure, which is maybe the exhaust sensor, which normally, when it's, normally as soon as you start the engine, it works for 1-2 minutes. After that, starts cutting off because there is safety connection of the ECU.
So has there been a change in the ECUs from yesterday's race to today?
No, it's the sensor problem, and we've changed one now. It's the same, exactly the same problem.
And something you're hoping will be fixed by Dubai?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it won't happen also again in Dubai.
Nice to see you're still in good spirits. Back to you, Dave.
Well, smile and shake Hasser Al Maktoum, and whilst Alex was talking to Hasser Al Maktoum, what a fantastic overtaking manoeuvre from Uwe Olsen. Absolutely fantastic. Olsen, here he is with the bit between his teeth, takes a look up the inside of Gianni Morbidelli. Alongside him he goes, propels himself up into second position in this speed car race. Bear in mind that this guy was disqualified yesterday. Look at this, a perfect overtaking manoeuvre into the tight right-hander he goes, scrubs off the speed. He now finds himself in second place. Absolutely brilliant from the back of the grid. Olsen is really on a charge. There's Heinz-Harald Frentzen in car number 80. Well, fantastic stuff from these speed cars. So, there is 80, Heinz-Harald Frentzen. As we find out now what happened to the race leader as was Johnny Herbert.
I knew he was going to do that. Johnny, wait a minute. Are there many cars left out there?
Sorry, a bit of frustration in me then. Well, obviously, there's a few back in here. It's a shame for me because I needed that race win to have really a shot at the championship. I knew it was my opportunity, but unfortunately we had a problem with the gearbox and it was stuck in, I think, third gear, so shame.
It's good that you know your gearbox ratios. So gearbox problem, first time you've had that?
It's the first time I've had it. I know there's been a few other ones that have had it. It's not very common, but I've had no gearbox issues since we've been testing the car or anything, so why it had to happen today, I don't know.
Is that the first run on the gearbox or the second?
No, I don't actually know. It's been in there a while, I think. I don't think it's anything new or special, I don't believe. Bernard, I should check. Is this the same gearbox?
Yeah, it's the same gearbox.
Same gearbox, so nothing changed, yeah.
Okay, so but obviously a change before Dubai.
Well, obviously so, yeah. Obviously there's only one gear in there and third is not very useful. So I need to get another 3 if we can. We're going to have to work hard to find them.
Okay, so another 3. Dave, back to you. I tell you what, it's a good job you're not down here.
So Johnny Herbert then tells us what's wrong with his gearbox, and whilst he does that we see Uwe Olsen get past Nicholas Navarro in car 71. I said Olsen was on a charge. By Jiminy, what a charge it is. Bear in mind that this guy had the disqualification yesterday in the race today, right from the back of the grid, and he has pummeled that grid. He has gone right from the back, right to the very front. This is how he took Navarro. Onto the rumble strips. Tight and absolutely brilliant stuff from Uwe Olsen. And there Heinz-Harald Frentzen takes a look at Stefan Johansson and takes a rather unorthodox way round. Here is what it looked like from a driver's eye perspective. Oh, well, there's a little bit of a gap. I'm going to take out the post and I'll take out Johansson at the same time, and he's through. Wow, this is shaping into something very, very special indeed. What a race. Uwe Olsen leads, then it's Nicholas Navarro, then it's Gianni Morbidelli, and just look at the huge gap before we see the next drivers. You have to hand it to this guy in 08, right from the back of the grid against the odds. He really has flown in car 08. So then we see Jean Alesi fourth, Heinz-Harald Frentzen battling well in fifth as Morbidelli takes a look at Navarro. And Navarro obviously has a problem as the car from side to side it goes. Obviously a fault there. So Olsen leads, then it's Gianni Morbidelli and Navarro, who's obviously got some form of problem, chucking that car around. What a great shame for Nicholas Navarro in car number 71. Is it a puncture? Is it a suspension problem? Oh, the car really is lurching from side to side. Car 71, Nicholas Navarro. What a great shame as he's about to lose yet another place as Jean Alesi goes past him. Here is Olsen leading this race. Take nothing away from this guy. Absolute passion, absolute commitment, and sheer aggression and gritty steel has meant that he is leading this race. And what a race. Full of incident, full of action, full of drama. It's what speed car racing is all about. And the drama will continue as we go from Bahrain to Dubai to conclude the championship next weekend. You cannot miss a bit of it. Uwe Olsen leads with the ACI 08 car. And he's not let off a bit. Once he got his nose in front, absolutely flying around this Bahrain International Circuit, making amends from the disqualification yesterday. Disqualified yesterday for not wearing his hands support device, which is head and neck support, which is mandatory for each driver to wear in these speed cars. And there is what will be an enormously disappointed 71 Nicolas Navarro, who was doing so very, very well, and has a real problem obviously with the yellow peril machine that is car number 71. There's Olsen, then it's Gianni Morbidelli, and with the problems for Navarro, Alesi up into third place, which will see another podium for Sean Alesi. Then it's Heinz-Harald Frentzen having a brilliant drive in fourth place, although he's certainly rubbed a few panels on his way round. Then it's Navarro, Giroa, Mikola and Klaus Ludwig currently in 8th place. Then we see Stefan Johansson, and the cars we've lost: Herbert, Lee, Leto, Katayama, Villeneuve, Terrien and Al Maktoum. As look at the aggression in Olsen, look at the way he absolutely hammers those controls. Absolutely giving it everything he can. And this is great to see a driver doing what he does best, leading a race and not letting up at all. He's going to make this one count. Such a disappointment for him yesterday. He's got a 3.1 second advantage over the second place driver, Gianni Morbidelli. But you have to say, Olsen really is flying absolutely around this Bahrain International Circuit. Really has got to grips with it. Got to grips with it yesterday, and very much so today. Absolutely through the gearbox he goes. Traditional standard H-pattern gearbox. Okay, let's go back to the pits and find out what happened to David Terrien right now.
David, you look extremely disappointed.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened. Apparently the engine was running too lean, and we have no clue of what happened. And everything went well during the formation lap. As soon as I went full throttle on the starting line, the engine just died and came in, and no one was able to find the problem. So tried to go again. The engine worked for half a lap, and then the same problem again. So I had to come in. And it's a shame when I look at the race. I had a set of brand new tires. I did half a lap, and the track was the car was just great. So.
And have you spoken to Hasher, your teammate? Has he got similar problems?
Yeah, apparently the exact same problem.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that before Dubai, obviously.
Yeah, we'll do.
So a disappointed David Terrien then, of course, inherited the win in the race yesterday with this guy's disqualification 08, Uwe Olsen, but Olsen is leading the way on the track now, and both David Terrien and Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum out of the race. Great shame for them. Nonetheless, it will all be put right before these cars get to Dubai. It's a fuel mixture problem, apparently. Cars running a little bit too lean. Well, lean and mean, that is this guy, Uwe Olsen. Mean with a capital M, as he has propelled himself from the very back of the grid up into first place. He leads the race with Morbidelli second. Then we see Sean Alesi. Then it is Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Fabian Giroa. Then Ananda Mikola, Klaus Ludwig. Then it's Navarro and then Johansson. Fantastic racing here. Speed cars never failing to entertain these V8 monster machines here at the Bahrain International Circuit. A support-operated race to the 2008 Formula 1 Gulf Air Bahrain Grand Prix. There's Gianni Morbidelli, another supremely experienced driver, currently in second place and looking pretty comfortable in second. So there's Johnny Herbert, who led the race. There's Sheikh Hasser Al Maktoum, who hasn't had a brilliant time of it out there. So they're watching the action, checking out the action, and wishing that they were out there as part of it. So there's Uwe Olsen leading this race. The gap between Uwe Olsen and Gianni Morbidelli is 4.3 seconds. So that is the gap between first and second place. That is Gianni Morbidelli. He is second. And that is your race leader, Uwe Olsen, in car 08. Gianni Morbidelli, of course, huge Formula One experience with Minardi, with Ferrari, with Footwork and Sauber. And of course been in World Touring Car Championship as well. Well-known driver, household name with regards to motor racing, and one of the most approachable drivers as well. Really nice guy, and he's currently in second place, Gianni Morbidelli, with Olsen leading the way. Jean Alesi in third, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen having a superb race also. He's in fourth place. So there's Gianni Morbidelli's car, decaled with the website where you can find out all the information you could ever need to know about this fantastic Speedcar series. It is www.speedcarseries.com. Now imagine how hot it is in there for these Speedcar drivers. Air temperature currently 28 degrees. The track temperature is 37. Now in the closing stages of this race, then tyres will come into play. Tyre wear. How hard have some of these drivers pushed their tyres? This is Heinz-Harald Frentzen we are on board with in car 80. Another former Formula One superstar, Heinz-Harald Frentzen, absolutely loving his time in these speed cars. Thoroughly enjoyed race 1 here at Bahrain yesterday, and enjoying race 2 so far, I guess, as well. So it's Olsen, then it's Morbidelli, and then it is Jean Alesi. And there's the gap between the 1, 2, 3. You can bet your bottom dollar that Jean Alesi will be trying very, very hard to get on terms with Gianni Morbidelli. Even though Jean Alesi has a podium position with a third, he's got 11.5 seconds damn near to make up between him and the second place driver, Gianni Morbidelli. And here is Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Stefan Johansson having a bit of a battle there, 0780. Stefan Johansson, car 07, had a real battle with Jean Alesi yesterday, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen in car 80. Let's go on board right now with Heinz-Harald Frentzen and see what it's like out there. How do they try and make these overtaking manoeuvres work? Eases off, dials into the right-hander, back on the gas again. Not anywhere close enough to be able to make an overtaking manoeuvre on that occasion, as he begins to reel in Johansson now. Through the sweeping left-hander, a right-hander coming up, but again, probably not close enough to be able to do anything about it. So this is a battle going on between Johansson and Frentzen now. You have to bear in mind that Johansson's a lap down in car 07, so Frentzen doesn't want to be trying too hard. He's got nothing to gain by getting past him in the closing stages of this race, other than, of course, he's letting Fabian Giroa behind him get ever closer. So Johansson then is currently 9th. He is a lap down, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen trying to get past him. It's Olsen that leads the way, then it's Morbidelli in second, Jean Alesi is third, then it's Heinz-Harald Frentzen, Fabian Giroa, Ananda Mikkola, Klaus Ludwig in 7th place, with Navarro in the yellow peril is currently 8th. Whatever problems Nicolas Navarro had, he's still managed to hold on to 8th place at least in this race. And there we see Johansson in 9th place, even though on track there's a battle going on between him and Heinz-Harald Frentzen. So Olsen leads, then it's Morbidelli, and retirements include Herbert, Lee, Leto, Katayama, Villeneuve, Therian and Hassan Al Maktoum. So of course the sheer temperatures here and the demands that these drivers place on these cars means that they are put under enormous pressure, as Heinz-Harald Frentzen again tries to find a way past the effective back-marking Stefan Johansson. You can hear the rev limiter there as the engine reaches its absolute peak. This is fantastic to be able to witness what it's like for the driver. Although Heinz-Harald Frentzen will be getting ever more frustrated that he cannot get past Stefan Johansson all the time. Fabian Giroux is reeling him in. Fabian Giroux is behind Heinz-Harald Frentzen in 5th place. Down the gearbox, Heinz-Harald Frentzen he goes. So you have to say it doesn't look likely that he's going to get past Johansson, or does it? Just when we think it's okay, Heinz-Harald Frentzen gets right on his bumper, looks for a way round, nothing doing. Onto the rumble strips he goes. So the race being led by Uwe Olsen, who has driven like a demon from the back of the grid right to the front to make amends for his disqualification from the race win yesterday. It's Olsen, Morbidelli and Alesi, the 1, 2, 3. There is Heinz-Harald Frentzen with his panel damaged car. Little bit sideways there as he drifts around. There is Nicolas Navarro. There's Olsen, who starts his final lap of this Bahrain International Circuit. Olsen, who is going to take, all being well, what effectively on track he will feel is his 2nd win. Won yesterday, but had to be disqualified for breaking a rule, not wearing his hands device, which is a head and neck support safety device that is mandatory for these drivers to wear. So there is your race leader, Uwe Olsen, absolutely chucking this car around the Bahrain International Circuit. The ACI car that is that's driven by 08 Uwe Olsen, and he has driven a fantastic race. Gianni Morbidelli 2nd, Sean Alesi is 3rd, Heinz-Harald Frentzen 4th, Fabian Giroux is 5th, and Ananda Mikkola and Klaus Ludwig in 6th and 7th place, with Navarro hopefully managing to keep his car going. He of course led the race for a while, then some gremlins saw him rocket back down the grid. But let's take nothing away from this guy. Driving 08, Speedcar 08, this is Uwe Olsen. Last year's German Carrera Cup champion. Absolutely flying this speed car around the Bahrain International Circuit. Started in position 16, and now he takes the win, crosses the line. There is the checkered flag. He makes amends for that disqualification yesterday. The thumb is out of the air already, out of the window, in the air, saying, take that. There's Gianni Morbidelli, 2nd place. Then it is Sean Alesi taking 3rd. Been absolutely brilliant racing from these speed cars. And there, Fabian Giroux, Ananda Mikkola in car 18. Now they obviously managed to get past Heinz-Harald Frentzen. So what happened there with Frentzen to have allowed Giroux and Ananda Mikkola to get past? Klaus Ludwig in car 12. There the checkered flag being waved, and okay, this is what happened. So taking a look again on Stefan Johansson, a little bit of a panel bend there from Heinz-Harald Frentzen. Now of course bear in mind that Stefan Johansson is a back-marking driver, and Heinz-Harald Frentzen just looking to try and find a way past him. And there he goes round somehow. So Heinz-Harald Frentzen spun. That was what enabled Fabian Giroux. And that's how he did it. In fairness, he got a nudge there from Stefan Johansson. The car looking very battle weary indeed. Oh, and look at that. Johansson turning him around. Absolutely turned Heinz-Harald Frentzen around and seemingly spun him out. Wow, this is what Speedcar racing is all about action, all about drama. There is your race winner, Uwe Olsen in car 08. And Johansson, who had a real battle yesterday with John Alesi, seemingly taking the battle to Heinz-Harald Frentzen right now. So, this is it. Olsen takes the win. Then it's Gianni Morbidelli. Third place is John Alesi. Then Fabian Giroud takes fourth place. Ananda Mikkola fifth. Frentzen 6th, Ludwig 7th, Navarro 8th, and Johansson in 9th. Both Navarro and Johansson 1 lap down. And there we can see the horrific list of cars out of the race through various mechanical faults. Olsen, he will be chuffed to bits. Yesterday, on track, took a win, but was disqualified. So there is Olsen, takes the steering wheel off and ready to jump out of the car. Takes his crash helmet off. This is Uwe Olsen. Absolutely brilliant. The Phoenix Racing team will be delighted with that. All the debris out. There we see Gianni Morbidelli. Handshakes. And there is the hands device attached to the crash helmet that was missing yesterday. It's there today. Steering wheel goes back on. Then we'll see Uwe Olsen climb out of the car. There he is. Handshakes and claps all round. Well done to Uwe Olsen, taking that win in incredible style, absolutely rocketing his way through the grid. Gianni Morbidelli, second place in car number 10. This means that the Drivers' Championship being led by Alesi by just 1 point now as we head to Dubai. Just 1 point between him and Olsen. Then it's Terrien, then it's Johnny Herbert, then it's Morbidelli. What a fantastic conclusion to this series. It's going to be in Dubai next weekend. You cannot miss a bit of it. So there are the cars. Olsen, the race-winning car. Morbidelli, second place. And then taken third, Jean Alesi in car number 27.